Hi everyone! Today I'm sharing our experience applying for a Schengen tourist visa through Via Center Italy Makati. My family went on a Euro trip last July to August 2023. There are 6 of us in the family: my parents, 2 younger siblings, me, and my child. Only my parents and second sibling were employed during the time of application. I was not working at the time. My youngest sibling and my child were both students. My parents and second sibling submitted the following documents: application form, 2 identical visa photos, white background and colored top, new and old passports, photocopy of the front and back page of the passports, flight details. We bought the tickets in October of last year, even if our visas weren't approved yet. Some would suggest that you can submit a dummy ticket. Proof of accommodation. I booked them through Agoda and Airbnb. We declared the correct number of people staying in the accommodation. Total accommodation cost would be around 220,000 pesos for 6 packs. Travel insurance. Coverage of 30,000 euros minimum and with 15 days of allowance beyond the travel period, and this is mandatory for Italy. Letter about our UK visa. Our point of entry was London, so we also had to process a UK visa at the same time. If the UK is part of your itinerary, point of entry or not, Via Center Italy highly encourages you to get the UK visa first before applying for a Schengen visa. We availed of the keep your passport option of the VFS UK, which is why we were able to process both visas at the same time. Birth certificate. My sibling also provided our parents' birth certificate to show relationship between the parents. COE, ITR, bank statements for the last 6 months, bank certificate, payslip, authority to travel for government employees, certificate or letter proving employers approved the leave for private company employees, cover letter. This would just explain your intention of why you're applying for the visa. Sponsorship letter, only for my second sibling, since she also submitted our parents' proof of financial means, and they will also cover all of the expenses. The letter should be written from the sponsor's point of view and then signed. Photocopy of my parents' ID, only for my second sibling, and a photocopy of the previous visas and stamps. My youngest sibling, who was a student, submitted the following documents: application form, 2 identical visa photos, birth certificate of her and our parents to show relationship, new and old passports, photocopy of the front and back page of the passports, flight details, proof of accommodation, travel insurance, parents' proof of financial capacity, COE, ITR, bank statements, bank certificate, payslip. We only submitted copies since the original documents were submitted by our parents. Letter about our UK visa, certificate of registration at school, photocopy of student ID, a copy of the registration certificate from the faculty signed and stamped by the university, grades transcript, cover letter, sponsorship letter. Again, the letter should be written from the sponsors, so in this case from our parents' point of view, and then they have to sign it, and photocopy of the previous visas and stamps. My 6-year-old child submitted the following documents: application form, 2 identical visa photos, birth certificate of my child, me, and my mom to show proof of relationship between the 3 of us, new and old passports, photocopy of the front and back page of the passports, flight details, proof of accommodation, travel insurance, grandparents' proof of financial capacity, COE, ITR, bank statements, bank certificate, payslip. We only submitted copies since the original documents were submitted by the grandparents. And why the grandparents and not me? Because I was unemployed at the time of application. Letter about our UK visa, certificate of registration at school, photocopy of student ID, a copy of the registration certificate from the faculty signed and stamped by the university, grades transcript, cover letter, sponsorship letter. The letter again should be written from the sponsor's point of view and then signed. And since my parents were the sponsors of the trip, they were the ones who signed it. Consent to travel letter. Her dad and I are not married, so we also submitted a notarized letter stating that he is aware of the trip and allowed our child to travel without him. And photocopy of the previous visas and stamps. For anyone wondering, you don't need a DSWD travel clearance since I'm traveling with my child, and that's enough. These are the documents I submitted. I was unemployed during the time. Application form, 2 identical visa photos, birth certificate of me and my mother's, new and old passports, photocopy of the front and back page of the passports, flight details, proof of accommodation, travel insurance, cover letter, sponsorship letter. My parents sponsored our trip, so they signed my letter. Letter about our UK visa, bank certificate, bank statements, MP2 statements, and photocopy of the previous visas and stamps. I don't have any properties, cars, businesses, or any income generating activity under my name. I just have my bank accounts and MP2 accounts. I used to work, but I was unemployed for about 4 months during the time of application. I think that my previous travels and that I'm traveling with my family helped in getting my visa approved. For background, these are my visas. Expired single entry South Korea, expired single entry Japan, and an active B2 or tourist visitor visa for the USA. Only my youngest sibling did not have an active USA tourist visa at that time, but she used to have one, she just wasn't able to renew it. We submitted our application at Via Center Makati. My child was not required to be present during the whole process since she was not required for the fingerprint scanning. For the adults, we paid 4,852 pesos per person and 2,426 pesos for my child, and this is as of June 2023. We applied on June 15, 2023. I got a call from Via Center Italy on July 11, 2023, informing us the passports were ready for pickup. You can choose to pick up or deliver. I chose to pick it up. That's a total of 16 business days, not including the date of application. For my visa, and this is only for me, I had to sign a paper at the center and was given a letter that I should bring to the Italian embassy once I came back from the trip. Hopefully, this good gesture will make the application smoother next time. I'll show you and I'll attach a copy of the letter. I dropped by the embassy to submit the letter a few days after my arrival. It was just a quick process. I gave the letter to the staff over the counter and they said everything was okay and gave me back the letter. They didn't write anything in the letter or whatnot. Just a reminder, please process your applications at least 3 months before your travel date to avoid emotional and mental stress. We got our visas on July 11. Our travel date was on July 20. So we were on a time crunch and very stressed with waiting. Spare yourself of that. If you want to add more documents to your application, go ahead and do so as long as it will prove your rootiness, that you have a reason to come back from your trip. Once you get your visa approved, all these efforts will be worth it. I hope you learned a few things. Enjoy your trip. Bye.